All right, guys, today we're going to be looking at the 2016 test problem 1. So let's get started. This question involves the implementation and extension of a random string chooser class. A random string chooser object is constructed from an array of non-null string values. When the first object is constructed, all the strings are considered available. The random string chooser class has a getNext method, which has the following behavior. A call to getNext returns a randomly chosen string from the available strings in the object. Once a particular string has been returned from a call to getNext, it is no longer available to be returned from subsequent calls to getNext. If no strings are available to be returned, getNext returns none. The following code segment shows an example of the behavior of the random string chooser. String array, word array, equals wheels on the bus. Random string chooser, schooser equals new random string chooser word array. For int k equals 0, k is less than 6, k plus plus. Interesting that they didn't just say k is less than word array dot length. Anyhow, system.out.print schooser.getNext plus space. Oh, they do, oh, I see, 6, because when we come down here, I notice the result is bus the wheels on none. Okay, because schooser has only 4 strings, the string none is printed twice. Got it. Okay, given the instructions on this page, I feel like I know what to do. So let's look at what they actually want me to do. Write the entire random string chooser class. Your implementation must include an appropriate constructor and any necessary methods. Any instance variables must be private. The code segment in the example above should have the indicated behavior. That is, it must compile and produce a result like the possible output shown. Neither the constructor nor any of the methods should alter the parameter passed to the constructor, but your implementation may copy the contents of the array. All right, so I got to write the whole class. I don't know that I understood all that, but I think I've got it roughly. I'm going to hit it one more time and focus on the key points here, maybe do like numbers. So your implementation must include an appropriate constructor. So that's 1. And any necessary methods, 2. Any instance variables must be private. That's 3. The code segment in the example above should have the indicated behavior. 4. Neither the constructor nor any of the methods should alter the parameter passed to the constructor, but your implementation may copy the contents of the array. 5. Okay, so we've got public class random string chooser, and we know we need a constructor, and we know we need some variables, and I think I remember 3 said that it needed to be private, so I'll say private. And I think we're going to want a list. I'm going to say private array list of string to store all those things. So I'll say array list of string. So I'm just going to call it array list of string words equals new. And that's just a declaration. We do it in the constructor, or actually initialize it in the constructor. So public random string chooser. And it needs to take a string array, word array. Okay. Before I do anything else, I need to initialize the array list words. So I'm going to say words equals new array list. And then I'm going to say for, we'll use the enhanced for loop, string word in word array. We want to add that word, so words dot add word. Okay, so I've added the words to the list. I think that finishes the constructor, so that's good. So then the only final thing is I need the method public get, and it's going to be a string get next, which should return the word, one of the words randomly from the words array list, or it should return none if there's nothing left. So let's handle the none case first, because that's the one that's going to get us in trouble. So I say if words dot size equals 0, return none. Okay, and then else. Return, remove, words dot remove. And we want to return or remove a random string, so I'm going to use math.random, which will give me a double between 0 and 1 exclusive of 1, math.random times words.size. This will give me a random number between 0 and the size of the words array list minus 1, because you can go from 0 and it will never get all the way to 1, so I can't actually get words.size. So that'll give me a valid index as long as I turn it into an integer, which I'm going to do right here using an explicit cast. So I'll say, hey, turn this into an int, and the thing I want you to turn into an int is this whole parentheses here, math.random times words.size, and I want to remove that. And I believe that's it. Okay, let's check the canonical solution to make sure. Okay, we are in part A. So looking at this, public class random string chooser looks good. Private list of string words. We said array list, but that should be fine. Public random string chooser string word array. I think that's word for word what we have. Words equals new array list. You don't have to actually have the string part in there, so I didn't. For string single word in word array, I think we said word in words, or word array. Words.add single word. Yep, got that. So our constructor looks exactly the same, so that's good. And then public string get next. If words.size is greater than 0, return words.remove int math.random times words.size. This is exactly the same, except they flipped their if, where they said if words.size is greater than 0, do a thing. Otherwise, return none. We said if words.size is equal to 0, return none. Otherwise, return, this stuff. All right, so our solution matched the canonical solution. That means we got full points. All right, we've got to get on to part B. Part B, the following partially completed random letter chooser class is a subclass of the random string chooser class. You will write the constructor for the random letter chooser class. Public class random letter chooser extends random string chooser. That means that random letter chooser is a random string chooser. That's what extends means. So that's going to be interesting. And we're going to say constructs a random letter chooser given using the given string stir. Precondition stir contains only letters. Public random letter chooser string stir to be implemented in part B. Okay, so we have to do the constructor. This down here does not look like we have to do, but it should be helpful because it's called get single letters, and it takes a string and then returns an array of single letter strings. Each of these strings contain a single letter from stir. Element k of the returned array contains a single letter at position k of stir. Okay, this example is illuminating. I can kind of see it, how that works. Okay, so I'm going to have to write the constructor part, which is going to somehow pass, or has to somehow set up the random letter chooser. I have this method get single letters, so that should help me. They do have example code down here. The following code segment shows an example of random letter chooser. Random letter chooser equals new random letter chooser cat. For int k equals 0, k is less than 4, k plus plus. System.out.print letter chooser.get next. And the code segment will print 3 letters in cat in one of the possible orders. Because there are only 3 letters in the original string, the code segment prints none the 4th time through the loop. One possible output is shown below, ACT none. So really, I just have to figure out how to do the single letters part. The other tricky thing is this extends piece. That just means that random letter chooser is a random string chooser. So random letter chooser is a random string chooser. That means when I make a random letter chooser, I have to also make a random string chooser. So my constructor here is going to have to somehow do that. And I remember that random string chooser takes a word array. So that means that random letter chooser is going to have to somehow produce a word array for inside the constructor to make the random string chooser. Okay, let's get on to the code. All right, so I've got my class. I'm just going to give lots of space here so I don't have to look at that. All right, public random letter chooser, and it takes a string stir, and somehow I have to create the random string chooser in there that takes a string array. Okay, something that we want to figure out too is how do we actually call a constructor from a class we're extending, and the way you do it is you use super. So I'm going to say super, and somehow I have to get a string array in there. The other thing about a call to super is it always has to be first. I can't have anything after it, which is probably why they had that static method. The name of that was get single letters, I believe. Get single letters. So I have to get single letters of a string, and that turns it into a string array. So in this case, I'm going to say stir. That's the string I want to get single letters from. So now I'm just basically saying, hey, pass to the random string chooser that I'm extending using the super call, pass to it, get single letters of stir, which will give me a string array that a string array with all the letters of stir broken out. And then I think it all kind of works because random string chooser already knows how to do get next. It'll already handle it. So really all I had to do was be able to take a string and then break it into single letters and pass that to my superclass, and my superclass, the class I'm extending, random string chooser, will handle it all. So I think this is a solution. Let's check the canonical solution and make sure. All right. Part B. Public random letter chooser string stir, super, get single letters stir. All right, we did it. We nailed it. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for problem 1 on the 2016 test. If it was helpful, leave a like. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll see you at the next video. Thanks for watching.